Hi everyone. I just wanted to make a short screencast here to talk with you about the screencast training. Attached to this email, you'll see this document that I have pulled up here on the screen. This is the screencast workshop that Eric Salahab, our online instructional coach, has created for us, for our specific group of English teachers. Anybody in this group who's interested in learning screencasting for their online teaching should plan to participate in this workshop and follow these steps. You will be paid for doing so. I just thought maybe talking through this a little bit would give you a little more clarification as to what we're asking you to do. The first thing you need to consider doing if you want to screencast is to make sure that you have the right equipment to get started. And if you have a computer or a laptop at home that you're pretty comfortable working with, the only thing you really need in addition to that is a headset with a microphone. These are pretty easy to get a hold of. They usually only run about $10. I'm sure you can pick them up at Target or any kind of Radio Shack store. I went onto Amazon and saw they were about $10 on Amazon. But you can also visit our campus instructional design centers. We have one on each of the 3 campuses, and they have the equipment there for you to do screencasts right at the IDCs. And so you can visit those locations on each of the 3 campuses and use their equipment if you don't own a headset, don't plan on buying a headset, or would just like to work in an environment where you could get some additional help. Okay, so I'd like to follow along with some of the directions that Eric has on here, just so that you can see where we're asking you to go and what we're asking you to do. The first steps involve visiting the online coaching website, which you should all have access to, and looking at the materials that Eric has posted there. The online coaching website is in your D2L account under your student tab. So you'll want to log into your D2L account, and from the home page, you'll want to make sure that you click on student. When you click on student, you'll see all of the courses that you have access to or that you're enrolled in with the college. And you should see one that says Instructional Coaching OL, Online Learning Instructional Coaching. You're going to click on that site. It'll take you to Eric's coaching site. And once you get into the site, you're going to click on Content. And when you're in the content area, the module that you're going to want to focus on is this one right here, Eric's Guide to Screencasting. When you click on that module, you'll see that there are 6 topics in here. One is the document that I sent to you attached to this email. It's just replicated there. This guide to screencasting sort of walks you through the actual steps that you would need to take in order to set up a screencast account. There's basically 2 things that you'll need to do to set up your screencast account. One is go to Screencast-O-Matic, which is the Screencast home site, and create an account. It usually only takes about 5 minutes to do this. As Eric mentions here, we can definitely look into getting you a pro account, which just allows you a little bit more flexibility. It stores more, and it allows you to record for longer periods of time. If that's something that interests you, talk with Eric or talk with me and we can look into getting you a pro account. After you've created your Screencast-O-Matic account, which is very, very simple to do, you're going to go into this YouTube link and you're going to create a YouTube site. And if you're like me, this might make you a little bit nervous because I have never put anything up on YouTube before, and I'm sort of horrified at the thought of having my recordings up on YouTube. But what you can do when you go into YouTube is you can set the settings so that nobody can search for your screencast or your YouTube video. So when I have a screencast that's made, I can go into Information and Settings, and when I'm in there, I can switch it off of public and put it on unlisted, save those changes, And that means that the only people who can access my recording through screencasting in YouTube are my students or anybody that I send this link to. And the reason that's nice is because it just ensures privacy. It doesn't mean that your stuff is added to all of the public stuff on YouTube. You can create a channel and have a YouTube account and not have everybody in the world looking up your videos and listening to them in case it's privacy that you're concerned with. So back in Eric's site here, this document just gives you some screenshots and some very carefully explained directions for how you can create your Screencast-O-Matic in your YouTube site. And then Eric goes on to talk about how you might approach actually making a screencast. He's giving you some good advice in here, things to think about before you actually sit down and record. And so he includes all of that information for your convenience in this one document here. Now, I should mention that even though everything is carefully spelled out, you could still run into some glitches. It's possible that depending on your browser or depending on just how your technology is set up at home, you may have a problem when you hit when you try to make your YouTube account or your Screencast account. And if you run into any trouble like that, just give me a call or just give Eric a call and we can try to walk you through that and try to problem solve and troubleshoot with you. Other resources that you'll find in here, Eric actually has a screencast guide to screencasting that would be worth looking at. And then he's got some samples up here of 3 different actual screencasts. This one by Meg Corwin is an overview or an introduction to her online course. So I thought this was a really neat one. This one, posted by Lindsay Christensen, is an example of the instructor reviewing her discussion rubric for her online students. And this last one is a screencast that Eric Sell had made to share with students about how to formulate or how to craft an email for your online instructors. And so it'd be worth it to look at any of these screencasts to get an idea of how different instructors use this technology to enhance the teaching in their class. Once you've looked at all the materials under the coaching site, we're going to ask you to go ahead and make a sample screencast. And we know that this isn't going to be the best screencast you'll ever make. This is just sort of a test to get you started, just a test to see if you can get everything to work and if you can get the basic concepts for screencasting down. So Eric has instructions here for how to go about making that screencast. And then once you do that, we're going to create a place in Eric's discussion board in his D2L site where you can post this screencast and share it with other colleagues and so other English teachers. So we'll then go in and people can take a look at your screencast and you can generate some discussion in that discussion board. So having your screencast posted, all of that would be due by Sunday evening, February 17th. That's about 9 days from today. And the second part would be just to have some discussion, to go in and comment on each other's screencasts. Maybe you want to talk about goals for screencasting. Maybe you want to talk about different techniques that you'd like to try with screencasting. Maybe you want to talk about assessment and how it is that you're going to check back in with students to see that they're actually watching your screencasts or getting something out of them. So any of those things that you want to talk about, the discussion part here that is due February 24th would be the right place to do that. And then Eric's included some optional pieces. If you'd like more help, you can contact Eric one-on-one about getting some help with screencasting. You can keep going with the discussion topic. And then also, if enough people complete this workshop, Eric and I would be happy to have a meeting, either a live meeting in person or an online WebEx meeting where we can all talk about this technology, how we're using it, any problems we're having with it, and just really do some collaboration so we can get ideas from each other as to how to best use the screencasting technology. Okay, so I'm going to end this screencast there. If you have any follow-up questions that you'd like to talk with me about, please feel free to contact me. In total, if you complete this whole screencasting workshop, online learning will pay you for 2 hours of professional development. If you go over that 2 hours, definitely let me know because we can look into other ways to fund you for that time that you've put into it. So I hope this was helpful. And like I said, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.